Hello friends, good morning all of you. Here I am Gadekar Sachin Pandit. Today we are discuss PMR spectroscopy in which discuss instrumentation, recording of PMR spectra, number of PMR signal present in molecule, position of signal and shielding and deshielding effect. Okay, so last lecture we are discuss a basic principle of PMR spectroscopy in which we are discuss a atoms that possess a magnetic moment. Okay, so in this atom consist proton and neutron. Okay, so in this neutrons are electrically neutral, so that's why we are consider only proton. Okay, so these uh, depending on the number of nucleus and contain nucleus consist protons and neutrons. Okay, so nuclei also possess a spin quantum number. Okay, so spin quantum number is denoted by I, and I is greater than 0, those molecules are NMR active or PMR active. Okay, so the spin quantum number I is the characteristics of nucleus. Okay, so all nuclei that have spin quantum number I is greater than 0 behave as magnet, and those are PMR active. If I spin quantum number is 0, those are IR NMR inactive. Okay, so also discuss magnetic and non-magnetic nuclei. Okay, so in which odd mass number, even atomic number or even odd atomic number, those are IR NMR active. Okay, so even mass number and odd atomic number, so these also NMR active, but even atomic number and even mass number, those molecules or those atoms are PMR inactive. Okay, so these are discussed in last lecture. So here next we are also discuss nuclear excitation, generation of nuclear energy. Okay, suppose any atoms protons in presence of applied external magnetic field to form say 2 energy level. Okay, so these orientation, number of orientation we calculate by using 2I plus 1 formula. Okay, I is the spin quantum number. Okay, suppose hydrogen, how many orientation are possible in hydrogen? Okay, so its spin quantum number is 1 half. Okay, so 2I plus 1, 2 into 1 half plus 1 is equal to 2, means number of 2 orientation are possible. Okay, so today we are discuss a instrumentation. Okay, instrumentation, recording of PMR spectrum. These instrument helps to the recording PMR spectrum. Okay, so these instrument consist a different part. Okay, so these parts are a first radio frequency oscillator, then magnet, sample holder, a radio frequency detector, a recorder, and sweep generator. First we discuss a magnet. Okay, so these magnet, a powerful electromagnet, produce a magnetic field near about 14,000 Gauss. These magnet produce a magnetic field, okay, near about 14,000 Gauss, and its magnetic field is essential because chemical shift is proportional to the applied field. Okay, so there are different types of magnet we use. Okay, so here sweep generator, what is the function of sweep generator? It used to supply DC current and produce a electromagnet. Okay, high voltage supply. So next is the radio frequency oscillator. What is the function of radio frequency oscillator? It provides necessary radio frequency to bring about excitation of nucleus, and it generally near about 16 to 500 megahertz frequency are used. Okay, so in this PMR spectroscopy, we use a radio frequency waves. Okay, so this radio frequency provides a radio frequency oscillator. Okay, so next is the sample holder. What is the function of sample holder? Sample holder, it consists of a narrow tube narrow tube which contains a sample dissolved in appropriate solvent. Okay, so this tube is constantly rotate so that all sample molecules experience same magnetic fields. That's why they are rotate. Okay, next is the radio frequency detector. So this, it detects the type of radio frequency and magnetic field absorbed by the nucleus during excitation. Okay, so this is the function of radio frequency detector. It detects the type of radio frequency or magnetic field absorbed by the nucleus during excitation. Okay, next is the recorder. So recorder, it records the signal and give by a detector in the form of graph. Absorbance of protons versus radio frequency or magnetic field. So this is the function of recorder. Next, sample. Okay, so in this PMR instrument, we use a so small amount of substance. Okay, near about 2.5 milligram substance are needed, and this substance dissolve in a few ml of solvent. Near about 0.5 ml solvents are needed. Next is the solvent. Which solvents is better? Okay, so carbon tetrachloride is a ideal solvent and it's cheaper. Other solvent are also used like carbon disulfide, CdCl3. Okay, but these are costly. So carbon tetrachloride is ideal solvent in these instruments. Okay, so lastly, this PMR spectrum can be recorded by two ways. Okay, so first is the magnetic field is kept constant and radio frequency is changed from lower to higher value, and different protons in molecules absorb a different frequency. Another, radio frequency is kept constant. Okay, so radio frequency is kept constant and strength of applied magnetic field is changed. Okay, so different protons in molecule absorb a different magnetic field. So these two methods are most important. First, in this method we use a magnetic field and radio frequency. First, magnetic field kept constant and then radio frequency change. Second method, radio frequency kept constant and strength of applied field change. Then different protons in molecules absorb a different magnetic field. Okay, so these two methods are used to record the PMR spectrum. Okay, so next is the number of signals are produced. Okay, how many signals are produced in compound? Okay, so molecule. So number of signals in compound depends on type of proton and environment. Number of signals in compound depends on the type of protons and environment of the proton. So same environment. same environment of hydrogen absorb a same energy and it gives a same signal. Same environment of hydrogen absorb a same energy and it gives a same signal. But different environment of hydrogen absorb a different energy and it gives a different signal. Similarly, number of signals or peak equal to the number of type of protons in the molecule. Okay, so chemically equivalent proton absorb a same field, same electric energy and produce a same signal or peak. Chemically equivalent proton absorb same field, same energy and produce a same signal or peak. Okay. Other hand, chemically non-equivalent proton absorb a different field energy and produce a different signal. Okay, so this is the most important rules in number of PMR signal. Next is the number of PMR signal. Okay, so first example methane molecule. Okay, so these methane molecule consist 4 hydrogen. Okay, so 4 hydrogens are chemically equivalent. Okay, so these first example methane molecule produce a only one signal because all protons are chemically equivalent. Similarly, second example ethane molecule. Okay, so ethane molecule consists a 6 proton and these 6 protons are chemically equivalent. Okay, CH3 and CH3. So these absorb same energy. Okay, same magnetic field, same radio frequency absorb and give a only one signal. But in example third, ethyl bromide. Okay, so in this ethyl bromide CH3 CH2 Br. Okay, CH2 and CH3, these are chemically not equivalent, non-equivalent. They absorb different energy, different field. Okay, so produce a different signal. How many signals are produced in these ethyl bromide? Third example. So there 2 signals are produced because 2 types of protons are present in these molecules. Similarly, fourth example, propyl chloride. Okay, N-propyl chloride. So in this there are CH3, CH2, CH2Cl. Okay, so in these 3 types of protons are present and these 3 types protons are not chemically equivalent. Okay, so there are different environment each proton. Okay, so it gives a 3 types of signal. But in fifth example 2-chloropropyl, so in this 2 methyl groups are same environment, these are chemically equivalent, but CH attached to chlorine groups, these are different environment because it attached to highly electronegative chlorine atoms and it produce, fifth example, it produce a 2 types of protons. Okay, CH3 and CH3 are chemically equivalent, 6 proton and another CHCl, it gives another signal. So these fifth example, it gives a 2 types of signal, 2 number of PMR signal. Okay, similarly 6 acetyl aldehyde. Okay, so these CH3 and COH, so there are 2 different chemically equivalent non-equivalent protons. Okay, CH3 1 signals are produced, and second is the CH. Okay, so these 6 number consist 2 number of PMR signal. So here benzene example 7, seventh example, benzene molecule consists 6 proton. Okay, so these 6 protons all are chemically equivalent and they absorb same energy, same field and produce a same signal. Only one signals are produced because all protons are chemically equivalent. Next example 8. Okay, dimethyl benzene, 1,4-dimethyl benzene. Okay, so two methyl groups are chemically equivalent and other benzene consists 4 hydrogen. These are the another equivalent. Okay, so there are two types of protons are present. Okay, so first is the two methyl groups are chemically equivalent and other benzene ring consists 4 hydrogen are also chemically equivalent. Okay, so there are two types of protons and it gives a 2 signal. Similarly, 9 example, toluene. Toluene consists one methyl group and second is benzene containing 5 protons are. Okay, so these methyl and benzene consist protons are not chemically equivalent and it gives 2 signal. Anisole, 10th example, benzene and methoxy group. Okay, so these CH3 and benzene are not chemically equivalent protons and it gives a 2 types of signal. 11th, 4 methyl groups are chemically equivalent and it gives only 1 signal. Next example here, your homework. Okay, just we are discuss on these. First example ethane, second ethyl bromide, and third example ethylene, fourth, fifth aldehyde also explain. Okay, so this is the your homework. So next, position of signal, shielding and de-shielding effect. Okay, so position of signal it depends on shielding and de-shielding effect. Okay, so first, what is shielding and what is the de-shielding? Okay, you know hydrogen atom consists a proton and protons never exist in single state. Okay, so these are present in combined state, which means proton reacts with or proton is always associated with its electrons involved in covalent bond formation. Okay, suppose protons always associated with electron and it involves in formation of bonds with other atom. Okay, suppose protons interacts with carbon to form a CH bond. Proton interacts with hydrogen, share with oxygen to forms OH bond. And suppose hydrogen interacts with N, sharing bond to forms a NH. Okay, so proton always associated with electron and it involves in formation of bonds, CH bond, NH bond, OH bond, etc. So many types of bondings are present. So the proton is surrounded by bonding pair of electron. So these bonding pair of electron increase or decrease. If increase, it's shielding effect. If decrease, de-shielding effect. Okay. So plus I effect shows the shielding effect. Minus I shows the de-shielding effect. Okay. So electron donating and electron withdrawing, it's a major role in shielding and de-shielding effect. Okay, when applied magnetic field to proton, when applied magnetic field H0 to proton, the circulating bonding electron pair produce its magnetic field is known as diamagnetic field or induced magnetic field. Okay, so this induced magnetic field is depends on circulating bonding electron. If this number of bonding electron increase, so increase the shielding effect and increase the induced magnetic field. If circulating bonding electrons is less, okay, so induced magnetic field also less number of electrons present in circulating bonding electron, so it is de-shielding effect. Okay, so shielding more protons is called shielding effect, and less number of electrons surrounding in this nucleus is the de-shielding. Okay, so here another example, tetramethylsilane. Tetramethylsilane, 4 methyl groups present in this silicon atom. Okay, so these 4 methyl group, highly shielded silicon atom. Okay, so next example, red colored hydrogen are more shielded proton. Why? Because in this methyl group donates electron and they shield. So that's why these hydrogens are more shielded, red colored proton. But in blue colored proton, okay, so blue color proton in which chlorine atoms minus I effect, they pull self electron, the chlorine atoms withdraw its electron minus I effect and de-shielding proton. Okay, so decrease the electron density surrounding hydrogen atom, so it's a de-shielded proton. So thus the electron density around the proton increase. First example, red color proton. Okay, so electron density around the proton increase is the shielding increase and absorption occurs high field. Okay, in blue color, electron density around the proton decrease. Chlorine atom electron withdrawing groups act as a electron withdrawing. Okay, so electron density around the proton decrease is decrease, de-shielding effect will increase and absorption occurs in low field. Okay, so this is the shielding and de-shielding effect. Next lecture we are discuss a position of peak, measurement of chemical shift, as well as also discuss chemical shift and molecular structure. Okay, so now we are stop here and thank you for watching this video. Have a nice day.